when it gets to the end of the line, it takes forever to stop.
Yeah.
So it's really sloppy. It'll oscillate back and forth. And like you can't give it more power because then you just kick up all the dirt.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
So is there a lot of waiting to
You
settle?
you gotta, I mean, in an environment like this, the submarine's horrible because you just pick this stuff up. Everywhere you go, you're dragging, this big mass of water behind you. So when you stop, it all just
lands back on you.
Yeah.
Got it.
So your strategy is like when you're going, you're going to sample something, you want to make a right-hand turn so that all the mud goes past you.
Interesting. Okay. Kind of had a vision of like Wile E. Coyote, like hiding quickly so the Roadrunner just speeds past.
Yeah, you just spend a lot of time with a big cloud of mud around you.
Explains a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we get mud too, but it's, it
Yeah.
tends to go away fairly quickly most of the time.
Yeah. Bridge nav. 30 meters, bearing 045.
Should nickname the submersible Pigpen.
Yeah. There's one of those
So
sea
cloud.
cucumbers that,
Oh yeah.
you want
So
to
we've only
zoom
seen
in
one
there,
up so
Al?
far.
Zoom in now?
Yes, please.
Blends in very well.
Yes, it does.
Bristleworm, scaleworm. Next to it.
No, it's a
The
Holothurian.
last, the little one?
Oh, the little guy next to it.
Oh, yeah.
We have a sea pig flying over us, under us. Oh, there it goes.
You got the shot?
Got the shot.
Beauty shot.
Is that a highlight?
I don't know. It was like a 4 for me.
Wow. We impressed you finally.
Okay, zoom out.
Don't worry, I gave the Dumbo octopus the same score.
Somehow I'm not surprised. What was the one that was like really incredible and you gave it a 3?
I don't remember. There have been so many highlights.
Too dull to remember.
Clearly.
Yeah, I don't look at anything below a 3.
What would you rate the purple orb that they found in Arguello Canyon?
Maybe instead of a number ranking, we need to use emojis ranking system.
I think Steve's just going to start data logging with emojis. I think this is what we're headed to.
We have a new video engineer.
Oh. Huh.
We lost zoom.
I can zoom. Yeah, let's test out Ben's zoom capabilities.
Here we go.
Are we zooming? Wait.
Too soon.
He failed.
He said zoom.
He said zoom capabilities. He didn't say to do it. Okay, now you can do it. Get that one from all sides.
There we go.
Tumblecumber. Wow, wow, wow.
All right.
What time is it?
We got an hour and a half left.
Oof.
We can do it. You got this. These mud dives, I'll tell you.
There's something. Bridge, Nev.
Oh, a rock. Oh,
Rocks.
a rock
Two
with the thing.
rocks.
With a thing on it.
Rocks with things.
30 meters, bearing 0.
Okay, Ben, zoom in. Look at that thing.
There's a sponge. Sponge.
Tunicate?
Tunicate.
Tunicate.
Yeah, looks
There is
like.
some sponges though, right? In there?
Yeah, some tinier ones, perhaps. Encrusting?
Yep. Could be these little blobs on this one on the left.
Oh, that's so cute. It's like a little eyeball.
Okay, this is good. Maybe we'll find more rocks.
Yes.
Great.
They
Move
must
it
have
on.
friends.
Oh yeah, I can look down.
For anyone watching, we're doing our deepest dive this cruise. We're exploring the Santa Lucia bank. So far, we've been on muddy substrates, some interesting hydroids and holotherians, or
You
sea
wanna do a reset?
cucumbers and urchins.
So I'm like dead under Argus right now.
Yeah, we'll do it when we stop.
You don't
Sorry,
wanna,
Abby.
You don't wanna.
You want to do it now?
I don't know. Just put it right under Argus. If you like the Argus position.
Not really.
You don't like it? Where do you like the Argus position?
I don't really trust any of this right now.
No, well, it's probably more like over here somewhere, right? Not this, but that's okay.
Or possible whale scours up ahead.
Oh. Oh yeah, you can see them really well on Argus cam.
Kurt was saying the beaked whale's deepest dive is at nearly 3,000 meters. But this would be significantly deeper.
Any other species in this area that would be diving that deep?
I think the beaked whales are the deepest diving whales.
Interesting. I know grays do this, but in shallower water, this would be pretty far out of their range.
Much shallower.
And they dive down to the seafloor like this?
Yeah, they make those like tracks like that.
Wow.
They rooting around for stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of theories on why they're doing it, whether it's food or heard like teeth cleaning.
Okay, moving on.
They used to be very common in the Caribbean. We used to see them all the time. Very deep.
You said it used to because you're no longer in the Caribbean, or because people are no longer seen?
Yeah, we're no longer in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Yeah, they did just disappear.
I was thinking the same thing.
Presumably they're still there, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't know anyone who's done time series work on whale scours. But I'm guessing they could be quite old.
Lee Marsh was doing some work on the CC, the Clarion Clipperton fracture.
I think they published that paper recently, maybe last year.
Last year, I think. Yep. That was a big finding.
Lasers off.
Sure.
Doing his hydroid impression.
That is the motion of hydroid.
Yeah.
Kind of works.
Very eel-like swimming motion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, moving on.
Sam, let us know when we're about 100 meters or so away from our last transect.
Sure.
Thanks.
Here's this on the right. Is this another grenadier?
We're actually about 180
Do a quick
meters.
zoom on him.
Okay. Looks a little roughed up. It was a much prettier one before.
Yep.
Ouch.
A couple pieces of its fins are missing.
Definitely
Yeah.
changed things.
Okay,
Lost that picture
moving
of
on.
him.
So science, we're still heading towards 5B III. Do we want to do a transect kind of through that waypoint?
Yeah, I think that'd be fine. I think if we overshot it a little bit, that would be fine. And same thing probably for 5E once we eventually get there. So yeah, I think we could start another transect unless anyone is seeing anything else they'd want to zoom in on or potentially collect. But I'm going to guess probably not.
So the current's picked up a lot right here.
Could be a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay.
About how far away from B III are we?
We're 140 meters. So we'd overshoot it by 60 if we did a transect.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Why don't we start another transect?
Roger. Pilot's
Thanks.
heading, or the bearing for that will be, let's do 0, oh, 1 second here. Let's do 055.
055.
Bridge, nav. 200 meters, bearing 055.
More rocks?
And do you want to zoom just a touch to get the, yeah. Is that too far in, or is that good, Bob?
Nope. I think, yeah, that's good.
Cool.
We need to start off this transect with some rocks.
Yep, so far both transects have been all sediment.
Mm-hmm. Can't win them all.
Nope,
Yesterday was so fabulous. Yeah.
All right. Seems like we're moving.
Yep.
Ship's moving. Are you moving?
You bet.
It's more of a question, but sure.
Yeah, we're moving. Look at us go.
Starting transect. This is number 3.
Yes.
Steve, how did the sample processing go from this morning's dive?
It went pretty smoothly. It took us about 2.5 hours, and we're able to get everything back, and subsampled accordingly. We were able to find a couple more sponges on some of those rocks.
Oh, nice.
And the globular yellow bits,
yeah,
we found them actually on another rock as well. We didn't see it at the time. They're hard. They remind me of if you were to cut a green grape in half. That's exactly what it feels like.
Oh.
It's kind of translucent on the inside, but solid and firm. So I'm not sure what they are. Probably an egg case.
So interesting. I'm pretty sure we've been recording them as a type of sponge in the AUV data. So it'll be, good to know that it's likely something else.
Just the same kind of C-pen here?
Can we have lasers
Potentially.
on? Lasers are not on the transect.
Oh gosh, thanks for that.
Oh, good spot. Good catch. Lizzie, does that mean we need to start this again?
Yeah, I would start this now so we can make sure everything is measurable.
Roger. Restarted.
Thanks.
Did the sponge sample in the claw make it up to the surface?
Yeah, actually, really well intact. In fact, everything was intact, and yeah, it's a very bizarre sponge. It kind of reminds me of like a Brillo pad. It's got a very firm. So the spicules on the outside are very firm and rigid, and they form this kind of matrix. And then the inside material is very soft and more typical sponginess. But yeah, it had a very, very odd firm texture.
Interesting. Okay, fab, because they're very hard to ID without looking at the spicules, and it's good to know that it's interesting that might be characteristic of whichever species it was. So not long spicules on the outside, just like a rigid, tight mat.
Yeah, I mean, there were individual spicules, but they were almost like interwoven.
Mm-hmm. I know how long it takes to go through all the samples, so all of us, I'm sure, really appreciate that collecting the sample is only the start of the work. So thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, we really loaded up last night, so.
There's been a couple of very spongy corally dives.
Taylor N was also doing some surface sampling for microplastics today as well. We did some Niskins on the surface, and the weather didn't permit us to do one of her plankton net tows. It was a little bit too rough, but we've been doing that down to 5 meters when it's calm.
Awesome. Yeah, I noticed we have some kelp, but we did not get cores near the kelp. So if we do come across more kelp for her, we could also do some sediment cores in the same area. Or no, because she was also collecting urchins and sea pens.
Yep, sea pens, and so on this cruise she was looking for sea pens, but on 122 she was looking for sea pigs. I don't know if she's still interested in sea pigs also.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I don't think she'll refuse it if we did find a sea pig.
Yeah, okay. I mean, yeah, that's definitely fine with me. I just didn't want to like give her more work if that's not what she wanted.
Yeah, the fauna are actually, what is that?
It's a flying sea pen.
Really?
Of course.
Of course.
Yeah, with the sea pigs, with the fauna, she basically just preserves it either frozen or alcohol. So it's not that much of a job. I think she's planning on dissecting it out the gut when she gets back to the lab to look for microplastics. But
Okay. Did she get any sea pigs from NA122 or none at all?
Yeah, she got several sea pens. I think it was, where were we? Anacapa, or one of the ones that was just.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was about 5 in a row.
Oh gosh. So I wonder, she probably needs the same species.
I don't think she's picky. It doesn't specify. It's any sea pen or any sea pig. Well,
how do we collect sea pigs? Is that a slurp?
Dangerous slurp.
I guess it could be.
Yeah. I remember 2017.
Many people remember 2017.
Wait, someone tell me about 2017.
The year of Corky the sea pig that got stuck in the slurp.
Oh boy.
Yep.
There was definitely an online following of Team Corky and Team Slurp Hose, because it was very unclear who would win that battle.
So it was a girthy little sea pig then.
Well, some of them are kind of the same diameter as the hose, so not setting yourself up for success, I think.
Who did win in the end?
The slurp hose. Yeah.
Shoot.
I would have thought it would have gotten stuck on the outside of the bucket, not in the hose.
It got stuck somewhere in the vehicle.
Oh.
I don't remember the exact trajectory of...
The lodgement.
Yes. The incident, yes. I like the lodgement.
I mean, there were no slurps for the rest of that dive.
Nope.
No.
Was that Olympic coast?
This is yes.
Oh, I was on that cruise. I don't even remember it.
Was it a 3 for you? No.
Oh.
It must have been a 2 or a 1 at that case.
Ouch.
Must not be that interesting.
It wasn't my watch.
That too. Probably had to see it to be invested.
I don't remember going on that cruise.
Olympic Coast 2017.
Yeah. Eclipse? We watched the eclipse?
The eclipse, yeah.
Oh, I guess you were there. Okay.
Yeah.
Story
were you guys in the path of totality?
We were at like 98%.
Yeah, we were pretty close, yeah.
Oh, wow.
The weird
That's
thing
awesome.
was that it was an extremely foggy morning, so yeah, you couldn't see the sun itself, but you could see like the shade in the sky through the fog.
Yeah, so it got
That's awesome.
dark, but it had already been kind of dark all morning, so it wasn't quite as impressive as I think it would have been if it was a clear day.
Huh. I was about to say, you probably were, for front row seats, considering how crowded all of the places were that were in the trajectory of the totality, because you were on the ocean, but if it was foggy, that kind of defeats that.
There was definitely a lot of people playing Total Eclipse of the Heart as well, of course.
No.
On board. And I'm sure on land.
Kurt said he was there too. Very surreal experience.
Yeah, Kurt was there. And the AV Popoki was there too, right? That cruise?
Oh yeah, must be.
Kurt was with us for the eclipse?
Kurt Whitmire, yeah. With the AV Popoki and Elizabeth Clark and Erica Crew, I think.
Yep, and I'm remembering now. So I think I joined you for the second leg.
Mm-hmm.
So did not see the eclipse. I was in the Safeway car park, I think, not on the Nautilus.
Sorry. Close enough? I don't know.
Yep. But I did see the sea pig get stuck.
Well,
So
can't win them all.
you win some. Yeah.
The eclipse of the slurp hose.
Oh, total eclipse. I feel like that song might have to be written. I'm writing that down.
Not even seeing many cucumbers now.
No, no.
Well, it'll be an easy transect to analyze.
Yeah, I suppose so.
So what do we think happened to all these tube worms that are no longer living?
It's tough to say if they're living. I mean, it could just be retracted.
Ah, okay. I guess we'll find out when you go through the sediment sample.
Yeah, we'll take the sediment sample.
Mm. Some opioids buried.
My mom's letting me know she tuned in for today. And I was like, yeah, probably not as exciting as yesterday's dive with the coral gardens. And I said, it might be a little bit more on the boring side. And she said, well, not the spider leg talk and the bagpipes. That was my favorite.
Oh.
That was a great time to tune in.
Excellent.
I mean, just imagine being in the dark, complete total dark on soft sediment bottom. You're just a little cucumber, and you just hear soft bagpipes in the distance.
Next thing you know.
Suddenly you realize you're not alone.
Yeah. I feel like this might need to be a series of like ghost stories of the deep.
There's one. Bottom left.
Oh,
And then we opened the box, and the sample was gone. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
That's a scary story.
I think it's like a 2, Sam.
I'm not doing numbers at this point. We're eventually going to put together a Halloween reel, so gotta get some good audio.
Kurt is saying it's time to go around the room and ask what song would go well with this type of habitat.
What song? Ooh, I gotta think about that one for a second.
Pink Floyd on the Run.
Yeah. Comfortably numb.
Hey.
This is kind of slow, yeah.
There's a sea pig.
There's one. Oh, there's two.
Enter Sandman?
Kind of on this. Mr. Sandman.
Horse with no name? ROV with no name.
Oh.
It's really low for me, Al.
I am?
Yeah. And it's not my dynamic range.
No.
Maybe I should just listen to you all the time instead of have you on SPL.
All right, I'm on SPL now. Is this a better level?
You pout.
One more time?
I'm on SPL doing a level
spot.
check. And it's good now.
Yeah, but you're louder if I have you locked on. Listen.
On isolation.
Maybe another anemone coming up. So Kurt was saying Pink Floyd was at the top of his list, but I also like Daniel's suggestion. He said a TV test tone during this dive.
Oh, ouch. Brutal. A TV, what? Nobody? Like maybe another.
So.
The last one we saw was on a transect as well, so we haven't been able to get a close up.
Oh, wow. Just our luck.
So what is Daniel's interest in the sediment here? Part of a larger study, assuming?
Yeah, he's interested in micromollusks. And so within shell hash and some of the sediment that we were looking at today with the dead worm tubes, he's going to be looking for micro snail diversity.
And how micro are micro mollusks and micro snails? Is this what's the under a certain measurement?
Yeah, when we were first talking about what spot looks like a good spot, he was saying it's kind of a shot in the dark because he can't see 1 millimeter snails on the screen. So I'm assuming on a millimeter scale range
Very
of sizes.
micro.
Yeah. Oh, wow. He's saying he wrote a 1,291 page book on 1 millimeter snail family. Oh, gosh. Ciceralidae. Oh, gosh. Ciceralidae. 0.5 millimeter adult average, 1.2 max 3 to 4 millimeters.
Wow.
Yes.
And what music did Daniel listen to when he was writing this?
Comfortably numb. Over and over.
I can't listen to music while I write unless it's purely instrumental. I get to. Daniel saying dark wave, new wave, punk.
Awesome. Punk snails.
Punk snails, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no way. So Daniel's saying he named a new species after the Dutch punk band, the X. Oh gosh. Depressizona exorum.
The story deepens. It's fantastic.
Depressizona exorum. Which sounds pretty darn cool.
Does the band know that they have a snail named after them?
Oh yeah, I wonder if he's told them. What an honor.
Wow. You heard it here on Nautilus Live. That's awesome.
If they're listening, they may write a song about the snail.
Oh my gosh.
And that would be the song that we play for this transect.
Whoa, the loop is complete.
Full circle.
And that book is an early Christmas present idea for anyone who's still not sure what to get their siblings.
Oh my gosh. So he says, yes, they do know.
Sorry, what was that? They do know?
They do know, and the species is shown as the CD cover on their CD known as Turn.
Wow.
What? That's so
awesome.
punk.
That is awesome.
That is amazing.
So we got to be able to
See,
play
this
it
is
here
what
then.
the science chat. I know, now I have to find it.
Yeah, can we play a Spotify link over SPL? Is that,
Not a sponsor.
At the cost of V-Link.
Yeah.
It's a tough choice.
Oh, hey, we might want to sample the, actually, can you drop a target
I'll
for
drop
later?
a target.
That's Radicipes
Oh, is
there.
that,
Ooh, this curly sea whip.
Oh, that's Radicipes.
How far into our transect are we?
We're actually almost to the end, so it's perfect. We've got 30 meters. Perfect.
So assuming you get to the end of this, what's the time look like to get back to there? It's going to be excruciating.
A little bit.
should we just stop? Should we pause transect?
Actually, the ship was kind of on a different line than we were, so the ship's actually about to stop in 2 meters. So if you'd like to, we could do that.
Yeah, why don't we pause just
I think
because of
so.
the situation with
We're
how
gonna-
deep we are? Let's take advantage of that. Yeah.
10 minutes.
Right. So
You need to
we're not.
step it back.
Yeah. Okay, so we
I
can.
still finish the line and come back by the time you start getting the ship going.
Okay, Science, were you able to hear that?
Not great.
Bob's saying that the ship's still moving, or Argus is still moving, even though the ship has stopped. So it'll take us a few minutes to get to the end of the line still, and we can just easily head back. But I'll have to put a. Okay, I'll put in a ship step now.
Okay.
You can start making your move, because I only have like 20 meters or something to go anyway.
Perfect.
Yeah.
No sweat.
Your microphone's like a wing.
Well, you got the picture anyway.
I got the picture. Okay, let's see. We'll do a 30-meter step back.
I'd do more.
Roger.
So I'm trying to get. Whoa!
Oh,
you took
come
it away
on.
from me. Oh, just as I was like, ah.
Not a touch screen. Not a touch screen. There we go.
I was just gonna point. We need to get right to there.
Yeah.
That was like.
Let's do 40. Bridge nav. 40 meters, bearing 226.
Bingo.
227 maybe. We just want to go exactly the way we just came.
All right. We end the transect?
Sorry, yes. We are, Roger Bridge, thank you. Steve, we are literally just ending the transect right now.
That's the end of the line.
End of the line.
All right.
Last stop. All right, George is going back 227.5.
You must have been listening.
Yep. I think I had him locked when we were discussing back and forth.
George was invested in that curly sea whip.
Who wouldn't be? It's the most exciting thing we've seen in 100 meters, 200 meters.
Cue the TV static noise.
From now on, I'm weighting all my highlight scores accordingly relative to everything seen on this dive.
Perfect. we'll get some good ones. When we get back to the curly sea whip, let's reset DVL. I don't want to do it right now because we'll lose
Yeah, don't do it now.
Yeah. But we're definitely off.
Yeah.
What is DBL?
DVL is the Doppler velocity log, and Bob's going to tell you more about it.
It's an instrument on the rear of Hercules that has 4 transducers pointed at, like 45 degrees to each other, and it measures, it puts out a sound like a sonar, but it measures the Doppler shift of the return, and by listening to that, it can tell how far you've moved over the bottom, and in what direction.
Okay.
And that ship moves underway.
So that's how we navigate. Just see by tracking how far and in what direction we moved over the bottom.
Okay. Cool.
I'm still coming over the top of you here.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only been 2 minutes since.
Yep.
We actually. Yeah.
227 as we're heading.
I'll just wait. I'm gonna wait.
Roger.
Otherwise, we'll get yanked. We're gonna get yanked.
So DVL is also what it makes it possible for auto XY, right? So you're flying on autos.
Yeah.
Holding your spot in XY space. But this is the system that at depth gets inaccurate. So we have to reset it.
Well, it's a relative thing, yeah. You have to give it a set point to work from. And then it drifts slightly over time.
And it also doesn't do well on cliff faces or...
Yeah.
Yeah, so it...
Well, you can also lose it by being too close to the bottom.
Interesting, okay.
So this one's a 600 kilohertz Doppler. They make a 1200, a 600, and a 300. And the differences being the height that you can work off the bottom. So like the 1200 is great. It's more accurate because of the higher frequency. The phase shifts are more accurate. And it works closer to the bottom. Like you can set all the way down on the bottom with the 1200, like within, a couple centimeters. What?
We're just letting you know that the person who asked the question is already regretting asking the question. Go on.
Come on, George.
There's no regret. I'm learning.
I want to hear. So what's the problem with 1200 kilohertz?
Yeah.
The problem is you can only go like 20 meters off the bottom, and you lose it. So the maximum height changes with the frequency too. So the 600 that we have is good to like 80 meters off the bottom, and the 300 is good to like 200 meters off the bottom. So there you go.
Wow.
That wasn't so boring, was it, George?
So when you have to reset it, does it record what you've measured so far? So you just kind of link those measurements together or sum them?
Well, you can, there's software that like tries to roll all of it together in post and try and figure out the actual track.
Got it. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's gone way past me.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, it's been
Yeah,
about
that was
6
very
minutes
informative.
now. I think we'll probably start to come back down soon. Are we going to want to spin around and fly forwards or just back right up?
I'm just going to back down the line. I need to back to right about there. You might want to put another move in.
More than 40?
Well, that's like 30 meters out in front of us. So.
Roger. Bridge, Nav. Let's add another 30 meters at 227.5.
Before you should tell George what the next move is, you should quiz him on how DVL works.
You only get a coordinate if... Are you only get a varied?
So we have a 1200 kilohertz Doppler.
Where is it?
It's in a box.
Oh, is that the Saturday?
That's our spare.
Ah.
But we could use it like if we were doing something that you needed like really accurate tracking on the bottom.
You mean like finding a milk crate full of instruments?
Well, again, it's relative, right? You still have to give it a reference point that's good.
Roger.
Yeah. How often do we need tracking above 30 meters, though?
When you got cliffs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you often work at?
Yeah.
Looks like it's starting to come back now.
Yeah, so that's 8 minutes after the ship move and probably closer to 12 after the ship stop.
Definitely gusty on the surface. We've been getting gusts, kind of bursts of 25 knots.
Really?
Yeah, but then they'll drop off again immediately to like 21, 22.
What's the average?
We've been looking at it over time. Yeah, because then it drops down to like 22 average.
22?
Yeah.
That ain't good.
But it's supposed to drop off soon. Next few hours.
That's higher than what I wrote in the forecast.
Yeah. Now it's down to 20 again. So I think they're...
Well, you want to turn around and see if you can look at me?
Yeah.
Maybe you can. I don't know. Really come down some.
I'm gonna actually come around the other way.
Okay.
I don't want to put a wrap in the tether.
For anyone watching, we've just finished a transect to survey fishes and any invertebrates, and we're going back along our transect line to take a sample of a coral that we saw on transect.
George is on a roll tonight.
That's what I get for sassing the bridge.
Okay.
Okay. What are you thinking?
Thinking I'll start walking.
Perfect.
Is the ship still moving?
Ship is stopped. Just did.
So we probably want to take that out now. Ah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, an hour now.
What? You on it? You doing
What?
it? We probably want to take that last move out now. Maybe we just kind of whipped it over and then we got to take it back.
So you want me to go back that way?
Just like half the distance, you know?
Roger.
Yeah. So go back 30. I'm just trying to put a, you know?
Yeah.
Kinda,
you know what George is going to say?
He's gonna say reciprocal of 257.5. Is that what it was?
045. So we're thinking 20 meters then.
Yeah.
Bridge, Nev. 20 meters, bearing 045. Oh, never very well.
He sees the logic in that.
I'm suspicious. Something's afoot.
Starting to think for that milk crate recovery dive, we should have just started a transect over that area, and as soon as we started the transect, we would have found it. Seems like every time we start a transect, we always find exactly what we want.
Right?
Been looking up some information about this coral. So apparently Radicipes It's an octocoral genus composed of whip-like chrysogorgids. And another name for this group are the pigtails. They occur in almost all continental margins around the globe.
Oh, wow.
Yep, so you got pigtails with the sea pigs.
Nice. Got about 5 meters left. Off our starboard side.
We're near the tether limits there, Bob.
Pushing it. We're going to push it.
All right. Should be about there off the starboard side. You want to turn 135? No, sorry, 090. No, 135, I was right.
Does this require a junk zoom, Bob?
Yeah, it could require that when we're so inclined.
Let me know when you're ready.
Yep. Good.
Going in.
Dead ahead.
Dead ahead?
Should be.
I think we were right there.
We are a little off. Gotta get back to that. And it was 135.
Should we be looking in
from here?
Should we look at Argus?
Argus.
With that?
I am definitely watching Argus cam. You can't increase the brightness on Argus cam, can you? Yep.
That iris is wide open right now.
Got it.
Well, as I spin around, we'll get light all the way around.
It looks like you've got about a...
I see it.
Oh.
You see it?
Straight ahead.
135.
Straight ahead.
Where's my telestrator?
Where's your...
There it is. Oh,
emojis?
that was not... Nope, not that one.
Paul, I'm going to bump the gain
Right
up
here.
on this camera.
You're gonna what?
I'm going to bump
I
up the
see
gain.
it. I
Yeah,
got
go
it.
for
But
it.
it'll get noisy.
I'm there.
Nailed it.
That's not too noisy.
No, that's great.
All right, we're going to stay
Yeah,
there.
that helps.
I almost drew on the telestrator with
nice.
a pencil. Sorry.
Wow.
Good eye.